I might put a hoodie on because I'm just so cold. I am so cold right now. But I don't want to put on the PS5 hoodie because you're going to laugh at me. All right. I'm not putting a hoodie on. I'm putting a jacket on. Oi. Look at this drip. Look at this, bro. Look at this. Bro think he construct. That is so cool, though. I love that. So, the story of TF2's creepiest YouTuber. This one's kind of been on my watch list. This guy killed someone. Did he actually? That's not good. Ever since I announced this video, I've been receiving countless death threats, doxing threats, and even threats of getting a copyright. I like how he puts copyright strike as the last one, as the final one, and even threats of getting a copyright strike. It's like, you know, death threats, doxing, not too bad, but a copyright strike? Okay, now we're getting serious.
Team Fortress 2, a game that has lasted 15 years while still retaining its relevance, which is simply phenomenal. During these 15 long years, TF2 went from being an unknown cartoonish game from Valve's legendary Orange Box to becoming one of the most popular FPS games with its amazing lore and regular updates.
And definitely its questionable choice in mods. The modding scene for TF2 is quite wild. If you know, you know.
This has had a huge impact on TF2's current state, such as the rapidly growing amount of cheaters and bots, and no major updates in 6 years. More so, the community is no longer what most would consider to be friendly or welcoming to new players.
I remember when TF2 went free to play, and the amount of videos you saw of like people that played the game for like the past 10 years, just bullying kids that got on there because the game's free to play now. TF2 would not have as much of a player base as it has now if it didn't move to free to play.
In today's video, I will be covering one of the most unhinged and dangerous individuals that I've ever seen to be a part of the TF2 community. Today, I will tell you the story of Venusian rapper. And if you, my dear viewer, will genuinely enjoy this video, make sure to click that subscribe button. Let's jump right into it.
He's literally me.
So, who is Venusian rapper and what exactly makes him dangerous? Well, it's a very complicated question, and to see the whole picture we need to fully understand the motives of his actions. What drives him? What makes him upload certain videos? If we understand this, it will give us a slight idea of who really hides behind their YouTube.
I hate to say it though, like, I don't mean to be that guy, but like, you're telling me that someone in the Team Fortress 2 community is unhinged. And the sky is blue, by the way. The sky is blue.
Let's go back to the year 2020, as this is when Venusian uploaded his very first Team Fortress 2 video. This is where it all began.
Play some casual TF2.
That man got wrecked.
Got him.
As it usually goes with almost any beginner YouTuber, Venusian's first videos had fairly awkward gameplay commentary, yet nothing about them felt out of the ordinary, you know, just another guy trying to record videos of himself playing a game that he enjoys. But the thing is, these videos did not stand out from other TF2 content on YouTube, so no one was really watching them. If you ever decide to make videos on such an old game like TF2, you'll have to find something fresh to get people's attention. And later on, Venusian would come up with the idea for his TF2 cringe series.
I think to be fair though, TF2 kind of has the problem that CSGO has, where it's like, they've both got enormous communities, but on YouTube, they don't really do that well view-wise, because it's not like kind of the meta content, even though the player bases on both games are enormous.
You better kill him. I swear to God, you suck a dick.
I had 20 health, you dirty whore.
Yeah, and you took the med kit too. So you had even more than 20 health. You just fucking suck.
Basically, the TF2 cringe series is about Venusian trying to find...
These are the worst thumbnails I've ever seen. He's got the Chud Wojak, he's got Chad, he's got the NPC face mask Wojak. This is terrible. These... Jesus Christ.
Players that he considers being idiots, or how he prefers calling them spurgs, and then he starts trolling them while recording. He tries to put the main focus on screwing with people instead of playing the game itself. Venusian rapper is a troll. At least that's what we see for now. Of course, not everyone approved of his ways of trolling people due to his troll language towards others, but these videos would finally start getting more views. The videos that would do especially well were the ones about targeting and trolling TF2 cheaters, because, as we all know, making fun of cheaters never gets old. Eventually, Venusian started having an understanding of which content his audience would watch the most, and as a person who seems to not care about all the negative feedback, he would start uploading more trolling videos. However, this is where we can notice something rather objectionable about his content, which is him paying very special attention to someone's sexuality, nationality, or gender, and making fun of it.
Sorry.
I mean, he's putting fucking Wojaks in his thumbnails. I can just already tell the guy's gonna be a try-hard edgelord.
You will never be a real woman.
I like how, as soon as I said it, it was literally just confirmed straight after.
Comprised of mentally ill individuals. He's being a homosexual is a joke. Ukraine sucks. They're super corrupt. I'm glad they're finally getting what they fucking deserve.
Outside of these tendencies, we can also notice him provoking people constantly in very obnoxious and off-putting ways.
Oh wow, you streaming right now?
It's like the Wojak in the thumbnail was like a huge signal flare of like, maybe I shouldn't watch this content.
Oh, okay. Might want to remove that VOD before it, you know, gets reported and you get a strike.
I don't record any of my games. I only get clips.
Why do you sound so depressed?
Because I get to wake up every day and meet people like you.
Now, I understand that just like with humor, what counts as trolling is subjective.
This is like watching Daniel from SL, but like none of the actual funny or wit or constructive jokes. It's just edgy racism.
And each person has their own limits of how far they can go.
Has anyone seen Daniel from SL streams, by the way? Like, where he does the game show stuff. It's actually so goated. I love watching that stuff. He's got this thing where he goes around with, like, a revolver, and it'd be kind of like, almost like kind of a Simon Says, but not really. He'd be, like, daring people to, like, kill each other and stuff. Like it's a game show.
With every new TF2 cringe episode, he will start going past the point of trolling people to provoke anger from their own behavior, to instead targeting personal things about them, to bully and harass them. He would even start sharing links to the profiles of those who had made it into his videos, often riling up his fans during the video and, without saying it, leading them to go on their own witch hunts. But what truly helped the exponentially rising edginess of Venusian's content is the amount of comments that do not only tolerate, but approve his approach. As I have said before, the TF2 community is an extremely hostile place nowadays. It is filled with those who find racism, homophobia and transphobia not just funny, but based, as cringy as it sounds. And
But what did he say based? Why did he say based like that?
yeah, not just funny, but based, as
Based. Why did he say it like that? Based.
cringy as it sounds. And if
That wasn't even based, that was based. That was based. I'm actually surprised that TF2 has like kind of that edgy, you know, edgy following. Because I swear last time I checked, half the player base are trans. Half the player base are either trans or furries. To be fair though, that's any free-to-play game, actually. It's just a complete, you know, fucking... It's literally just Captain America Civil War.
a role model to them. And Venusian certainly knew it. This led to his content becoming more and more aggressive. His vocabulary went completely out of the usual boundaries of what was appropriate, and the topics that he would begin bringing up in his videos stopped having any real connection to the game as it was being played.
Like, I don't understand why anybody who lives in a Western civilization would want to be a Muslim. It's just kind of weird. But honestly, it makes sense for the Middle East, you know, in those countries where you fucking shit in a hole and wipe with your hand.
But then, what is trolling and what is not? There must be some sort of a line that Venusian would not cross, right? Not really.
TF2 is mostly gay and trans. Every TF2 server I've joined, half the team will have furry profile pictures and the other half will have anime profile pictures.
And trolling starts having some personal reasons behind it. Venusian rapper fully realized that stirring up drama gets him the most attention on this platform, and naturally...
Is it just me or like the guy's face that's censored here? I thought it was XQC. Did anyone else think that? I thought it was XQC.
he kept causing more. In fact, random TF2 players stopped being the only targets for him, and he soon started going after other TF2 content creators by making fun of their videos and personalities. He would roast them for trying to start a career on YouTube.
Too many losers out there like Spiky Mikey. Making videos for a career is retarded, G.
He would roast them for being boring and lame.
Speaking of cringe, here comes Sam Wiz in denial of how bad his channel really is.
He's roasted them for drawing no safe for work art, which is a very specific thing to point out.
Filling in for Starry Crow, he's busy drawing food or sex. You're down bad for focusing that grind set. How you gonna draw that shit without regrets?
Obviously, these videos were receiving even more attention.
Roasting people for drawing NSFW. I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. Really big trouble.
This is exactly where things would start becoming odd. Venusian suddenly began bringing up the topic of pedophilia in his videos. And no, I don't mean that he mentioned it once or twice. You can see him talking about it a bit too often. He accuses others of it all the time.
Why are you projecting so much about touching kids, dude? Are you actually a pedophile? Oh, look, dominated the racist pedophile. Get owned, retard. I guess all Russians are fucking pedophiles. They are racist, cheetah pedophiles. Muted over here is like, oh yeah, grooming kids, so funny, haha. Probably a closeted pedophile himself.
One video that still doesn't sit right in my head is the one where Venusian accused a guy of being a P-word because of that guy saying something clearly ironic.
What did you just say? So you're a pedophile too? What's wrong with you? We should kick you. Pedophiles aren't allowed in this game. Kick me.
I like how he's maining as a pyro when he's doing this, by the way. Like, he's really not helping the whole, like, pyro main aesthetic, man.
And not the pedophile that just said the age of consent should be lower.
This tasteless joke was enough for Venusian to make a 20-minute video where he was gaslighting this guy and everybody on the server into believing that he was a child predator. He even called a video like this and left the guy's Steam profile in the description. It's so weird. It's a very peculiar thing about Venusian Rapper for sure, but funnily enough, this is exactly how I personally got to know of this guy. Around 2 years ago, Venusian joined my Discord server because apparently he was a fan of mine at the time, but I couldn't have possibly expected what this would turn into down the line. This would turn into him accusing members of my Discord server of grooming.
And I worn a really loose boxer that day. Some said my pee-pee was showing under the skirt. This 15-year-old kid just admitted to sending pictures of himself to other people in your server. Literal child porn.
Of course, there has never been any evidence of this occurring, but it has never stopped Venusian from making very loud claims.
I just knew the video was gonna instantly go to grooming as soon as I saw the Discord. As soon as the Discord screenshots came up.
This was my first experience with Venusian Rapper. By the way, this same exact situation almost happened to another content creator, to the most rapidly growing TF2 channel at the time, LMaxo. Venusian built plans on exposing LMaxo's Discord server of grooming too, but eventually he gave up on that idea. And from now on, I'll continue telling you the story from my perspective, because after all these events, I got involved in this whole Venusian situation, and I witnessed everything that was about to happen. There's something extremely important to point out about this whole drama around my Discord server. It is Venusian's girlfriend. You see, it was her who had collected all of the chat messages for him. Her username was Jane Dome. There was another person called Pinkstar Lavender who introduced themselves in my DMs as an online friend of Jane Dome. Lavender wanted to settle down the whole situation because they knew it was blown completely out of proportion, so they wanted to talk to Jane and Venusian about it. I want you to remember these two names because they will play the key role later in this video. Back to Venusian. It should be perfectly clear by now that he's someone who is ready to use any tiny opportunity as a reason to create drama on his channel to gain views. The way he makes his videos is almost always the same. Finding his target, trying to paint this target out as the bad guy while trying to make himself look like the good guy, then uploading this to his channel to show his fans what he wants them to see. This is some distinctly manipulative behavior. Like in this video of his, for example, where he's accusing yet another guy of being a P-word.
Are you a closeted pedophile?
Yeah. Dude, I literally
What? What?
It's just the Afro profile picture, and then isn't that angry video game nerd on the left as well? But ironically, the most serious Discord meeting I've ever seen.
This is what Venusian uploaded. But here is the actual backstory. This Neon guy had been leaving funny comments on Venusian's Steam account, and after getting on his nerves, Neon was stalked on Discord by Venusian, who was spamming voice calls for an hour. Eventually, they did have a voice call, and Venusian only put a small part of it into his video, but the thing is, Neon had Venusian muted and was talking to someone else in TF2 because he was playing it while on the call. We can even hear him talking in the background.
What? What?
But Venusian made it look like Neon answered his question, so he called him a pedophile and uploaded his video. But what's even more suspicious is this. Neon got doxed. His real name and some other personal information got leaked on multiple Discord servers, including mine. He got doxed the same day Venusian's video on him was uploaded. Rather interesting coincidence, isn't it? Speaking of leaking someone's personal information, there is this video on Venusian's channel of him making fun of a CSGO YouTuber, Noobdog. This guy had roasted Venusian's videos on his stream, to which Venusian uploaded a reply, but what he also did is he put Noobdog's potentially real name in the title. I tried to briefly look for information on Noobdog online, but I couldn't find anything that revealed his real name. And even if the name that Venusian leaked is not real,
I like how it came up with XQC. As always.
It's very concerning that he makes things this personal over something insignificant. As months were going by, Venusian continued causing controversy left and right, but one thing about him became obvious, and is that his ego started getting out of control. Surely the growing amount of supportive comments towards his videos fed his ego, yet the criticism has only begun.
This reminds me a little bit of the Mama... No, not Mama Max. No, who is it? Maximilian Must. That's right. Yeah, I remember like everyone loved that guy. Even KSI did like a video on him, but then it all just completely went to shit because he like started harassing people on Discord and stuff. And then Critical made a video on him.
It's come to the point of Venusian replying to almost every negative comment. He casually calls some of the commanders pedophiles, again, just because of their profile pictures. He makes fun of their content or the channels that they're subscribed to. He hearts his own replies. He makes it so personal and weird in the comment section. This all could have been explained away as Venusian playing a character or something, I would guess, but we see that it's not only about negative comments. He has been making lots of videos on those who call him out, just like he did with his Noob Dog and Neon videos that I've shown you. Lots of videos. His already inflated ego is so easy to hurt that he stopped being careful and started putting light on the very same information about himself that had...
What are we watching? TF2 drama.
...desperately trying to hide for years. What is this information, you wonder? Let's find it out. There was a random guy named Player who made a video about Venusian because they had a beef between them. In this video, Player brought up a very interesting rumor. Venusian seemed to have had a Twitter account that got banned because of him drawing some questionable, not safe for work art.
Right, an adult that draws food porn, I shouldn't really be...
No, I do not.
No. Yes, the fuck you do. Then show me your Twitter.
I wouldn't have even known about this if Venusian hadn't uploaded his...
It's literally just the Spider-Man meme of like, you know, two Spider-Men just pointing at each other, just degenerates going after degenerates.
His own reply to the Player's video where he did his classic "he's bad, I am good" stuff. It was surprising to find out that Venusian might have drawn some nasty stuff himself when he has called out others for it in his videos, which is very hypocritical. So first I had to look for any other videos on Venusian from someone who had also experienced the pleasure of meeting him. And luckily I found something. Best argument on TF2. It is a 25-minute video of Venusian having a meltdown over a gay person named Conniptions on a random TF2 server. In this video, Venusian says that most gay people are pedophiles. Yes, he brings up this topic again.
There's a reason why a majority of homosexuals rape children is because they keep raping children.
Later in the video, Conniptions tells an edgy joke in return, which makes Venusian lose it.
Sorry, yeah, I fucking love children, man. Oh, just those tiny little things.
Excuse me? Why would you make a joke about that?
Because it's a funny joke, because you're being so fucking obnoxious.
I just love how, like, you'll get trash talking like this in TF2 because it's such an old game, but you would never hear shit like this in, like, I don't know, like Overwatch 2, right? Because they basically came out and said that we're recording the conversations. Stuff that you talk about, like if you're trash talking, you can get banned for it. But obviously, with TF2, it literally is just like free reign.
Yeah, it's funny.
No, everybody else is fine with that. Like, I honestly believe he would rape a child because he's gay. I'm asking you why you're a pedophile. You just admitted on camera you wanted to rape children.
TF2 lobbies are the COD lobbies of today. I genuinely think this shit is worse. Because, like, I mean, COD lobbies would always just end up being, like, racist, right? But, yeah, yeah.
Kids recording this?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Glad that everyone else can watch this and make fun of you just as much as we have.
I still find it hilarious that Venusian said that he was recording everything, that he recorded Conniptions admitting to being a P-word, but after seeing that all of the other players on that same TF2 server and most of the comments to this video were not on his...
Valve won't ban one of their main sources of income. I mean... Yeah, you don't need to get rid of TF2. It's just, the thing is with games, when you make them free to play, you open up the floodgates to like all the degenerates in. It's like League. League has like one of the worst communities ever because it's free. Like anyone can get hold of it. You get banned, just make another email, make another account, re-download it.
Side. He saw the comments because he left a few himself, but they're gone now. Venusian decided not to upload it to his channel. I guess it was too difficult for him to paint as a successful troll, and this is what happens when things do not go in Venusian's favor. But that's not all of it. One of the comments stated this: "Funnily enough, I do have some ties to this Venusian individual, and in a few hours I'll release a voice chat he and his friend had with me and my friends. It shows his entire creative process is just to get angry at the internet and then edit it down to the parts that make it seem like he's an epic troll. Couldn't have said it better myself." The video was uploaded, and Venusian is the first one to say something in the very beginning. Can you guess what it...
I feel like Euro servers are way less toxic than US servers. I don't know, it kind of depends. I mean, like, I used to play CSGO a fair bit, but you'd always get put with Russians, and they just, like, scream at you. As soon as you didn't speak Russian to them, they'd usually just, like, TK you.
Is...
Talking about autism and
abandoned by their disappointments to their own families. You know what's even sadder? This is the only form of entertainment that they have, is listening to somebody else live a better life.
He was acting extremely in their
Euro servers are sweatier than US servers, yeah, because French. Unironically, every time I get put with like I used to play CS:GO with a French guy, and he would fucking carry me. It was insane. He was just a grease god.
Narcissistic. Venusian genuinely believed that those guys in the voice call were envious of his life, that they were all obsessed with him and wanted to be him, just because they were fooling around. There is something more important, which is in the description to this video. Find it funny that Venus calls people trans p-words, but also draws loli fuda. Uh-oh. Loli fuda? So not only are there 2 people now who have mentioned Venusian drawing some degenerate stuff, but allegedly he also used to sexual—
How is this video not age restricted, by the way? I'm not saying it should be, but what though? These topics, like, bro, someone in chat said earlier, like, there's some heavy topics. I did not think it'd be getting this heavy. Bro, I clicked on this video thinking it'd be like some like little wholesome drama, like that weird TF2 para character, but nope. No, we are going in the deep end now. This is like season 5 of Breaking Bad where Walter's cancers come back.
I realized that to find the truth, I needed to dig deeper.
He's even putting in the B-roll, the stock footage B-roll of the filing cabinet being opened and up. You know this is serious now.
I needed to find Venusian's Twitter account. So I finally remembered.
Oh no, please don't actually show any. Please don't tell me you actually show any. Okay, I'm not showing that on stream. There's no way I'm showing that shit on stream. I'm scared. I like how it's most replayed here because I think most people also wanted to skip this part. Like I'm not showing that on stream. I don't even care if he fucking censors it, bro. I'm not showing that shit.
There is a pretty big TFtuber with the name of Fatmagic. There is a funny class in Team Fortress 2 called Sniper, and Fatmagic loves playing Sniper a lot. He hits headshots all the time, gets accused of cheating in his videos because of it, and at a certain point, Fatmagic became Venusian rapper's main target. Venusian uploaded a video where he accused Fatmagic of cheating, providing some evidence, and this video created the biggest controversy in the community in a while, becoming Venusian's most popular video to date. But the problem is, the evidence was very weak, and the way it was introduced didn't quite click with the regular viewer. It was not received well at all, getting a great amount of dislikes and criticism in the comment section. But Venusian doubled down on his accusations with the release of his second 1-hour-long video on Fatmagic.
It's like, he cheats. Okay, you think I'm doubting? He 100% cheats. And then the sequel, he 101% cheats.
Which objectively provided even less clear evidence. Then the third video, but none of it worked out. Meanwhile, people were uploading replay videos to the whole Venusian Fatmagic controversy. But no one quite debunked the actual cheating evidence, which is why I, as someone who deals with TF2 cheaters a lot, decided to jump on the Fatmagic bandwagon as well. I usually love to hype up my big videos on my YouTube community tab, which is exactly what I did. I made a community post teasing my upcoming Fatmagic video. But then something completely unexpected happened. I guess the way I phrased everything might have made Venusian think that the video was going to be on him instead, because he left a comment to my community post. Let me guess. My ex-girlfriend contacted you regarding things I did in the past and have already moved past and grown from.
Uh-oh. That's a cope sentence. You can tell he's already setting up, like, the Great Wall of China as a barrier there. It's like, I guess you're messaging me about stuff that I've already grown up from.
Okay. This is something. You think I didn't know about that? You could have asked me yourself about it. I'm open for an interview. Being so sure that my video was going to be on him, Venusian also started discussing it in his Discord server, or a much better way to say it, he was having a full-on damage control.
Yeah, this is the problem I've noticed with like people that are like edgy in communities. Like they'll come across as being like these giga chads that just like nothing phases them, right? But they literally always have an eye in the back of their heads. Like they are very anxious, paranoid people, especially when like, you know, stuff comes crumbling down.
Going on. Knowing that people started finding out about his art, he sent some of his artwork, trying to make it seem that he'd never drawn anything bad. He was repeatedly saying that I'm trying to retaliate against his videos about my Discord server, that I apparently admitted to sending spies after him. He deleted the general and memes channels and created new ones to erase any—
I never got this thing where people say like there's like Discord moles or Discord spies. It's just like, imagine being that down bad that you would think that there's like Discord moles.
Other possible evidence. He's probably gonna make some exposed video on me over some shit I did in the past. The truth is, his ex-girlfriend didn't message me back then. I had no idea what was going on. Venusian freaked out about something and started this damage control—
There's a red spy in the There's a red spy in the Discord server!
Campaign in his Discord server. Still, why would Venusian's ex message me? And who even was she? Was she maybe Jane Doe from before? And if so, did it have anything to do with their breakup?
Discord assassins.
Because it definitely felt like something bad had happened. Whoever she was, she didn't even have to tell me, because Venusian would later confess in everything himself. His Discord server had a private channel with only his closest friends and moderators in there, and this is what Venusian said in that channel. I guess the first...
Could you imagine, like, you know, during, like, World War II, you had people, like, infiltrating German compounds. You had, like, Germans, you know, in... like England undercover as spies to get information. You had like code breakers. They were trying to decipher like, you know, where the next artillery strike would be. And now in current year, we have young adults sneaking over into other young adults' Discord servers and then leaking messages and acting like they have broken into Fort Knox.
Part is to why my ex-girlfriend contacted him. I was abusive to her. I would constantly cheat on her online with multiple women at a time. There was a single occurrence where I did physically strike her, which she no doubt mentioned. Eventually, this culminated in me cheating on her in real life with her best friend at the time, something which broke her emotionally and mentally.
I like how compressed this screenshot is, the amount of times it's been shared around as well. Holy yikes!
The second part involves the multiple women I engaged in sexual behavior with while cheating on her, including multiple women involved in a Discord community for an animator named Antoons. There was a girl from Estonia who, despite my protests, wanted to engage in casual sexual conversations. She was 16, turning 17. When these messages began. Oh no, here we fucking go.
It's the fact that he self-reported to all of this as well. Self-reported to every single thing. It's over.
He was sexting the minor, and don't you worry, we'll get to that. He also mentioned that he'd once posted nudes of another minor on 4chan. Venusian thought that this confession...
Where the fuck are you gonna... Literally, just put your wrists out for the handcuffs, bro. Like, I don't get the self-reporting. It is Jova.
Would remain in his secret channel, but after seeing such a nuke being dropped, one of the moderators immediately left Venusian's Discord server and leaked everything to me and to some others, who expectedly started spreading the word everywhere. And Venusian's paranoia went to 100%. Everybody was a spy of mine at that point. He couldn't trust anybody anymore, so he started banning people.
I've seen so many cases where, like, YouTubers and people, like, imply that there's, like, Discord spies. And yeah, this guy's right. That is, like, when they are peak noided. They're like Jesse Pinkman sat in front of the speakers just, like, crying.
His Discord server had barely any members left. Venusian finally revealed the idea behind his so-called Discord social experiment. If you want to read everything, you can pause the video, but summing it all up, Venusian was bragging about being a troll on the internet for 10 years, making multiple communities burn down in flames from his trolling actions, and that me releasing this video is the greatest trolling on the internet in all of history. I know, the lunacy levels here are simply out of this world.
This will be my 4th to 5th and my final magnum opus as I close this chapter of my life and move on to my next. Raising a family. Raising a family. So guys, I trolled on TF2 a little bit too hard. I'm in my mid-20s now. I gotta sort my shit out. I'm gonna go have a family.
Would delete his Discord server. So now we know that his ex was in fact Jane Dome, and she had her story to tell, which made Venusian so scared that he confessed to some terrible stuff. But it's all about to get much worse. When Venusian would try to make...
Imagine being that existential that you're... It's not, I'm gonna improve as a person. It is, I need to go raise a family. The next YouTuber that has like an allegation, they shouldn't say, I'm gonna like, you know, grow and change as a person. They should just say, I'm gonna go raise a family.
After all, I did upload my video on Fatmagic, debunking all of the Venusian's evidence. But I also had my little investigation dedicated to Venusian going on in the background. Not about all of his controversy yet, but about him cheating in TF2. Yes, Venusian is also a confirmed cheater that accuses others of cheating and makes fun of them in his videos. Deal with it. This is only the tiniest part of
I mean, to be fair, who doesn't cheat on TF2 at this point?
His hypocrisy. So I mentioned at the end of my Fatmagic video that I also had plans to make one on Venusian rapper. In the meantime, lots of others were already uploading their exposed videos on him, highlighting his Discord confession, his not safe for work art, all of that. Venusian's channel started losing subscribers rapidly due to the drama, but he knew for a fact that the worst video was yet to come. He needed to do something about it in order to save face, and he did. After seeing that my Fatmagic...
I mean, he's raising a family. What else can he do? That's like the biggest character development you can have. He's raising a family.
Video was in fact on Fatmagic, and that his ex seemingly had not contacted me, Venusian finally realized something. There was no other proof to his Discord confession but his own words. So he quickly backpedaled on all of his previous statements and said that it was all a bait. It was all planned to bait me specifically.
It was all bait!
I'm not joking, this is...
This is Heath Ledger's Joker tier now. Jesus, just smacking his lips.
Exactly what he came up with.
This, of course, all stems from the greatest troll I could ever come up with to laugh in Vorobei's face. A bait which he took like Patrick from SpongeBob, considering the fact he had the screenshot of me saying it was a bait, and I specifically gave myself away in his community post comment chain.
This is from his video that he titled TF2 Cringe, Vorobei Tries to Dox Me, where Venusian tried to make me look like a doxer, stating that I planned to leak his private information. He would also accuse me of being a TF2 cheater and say this: hope this goes to show people not to trust anything this guy says.
I like how he doesn't include the messages of him freaking out saying that he has spies everywhere.
Shortly, Venusian was trying to discredit me as much as possible before I upload my videos on him to lessen the impact. Manipulation it is. But okay, fine. Let's pretend for a minute that his whole confession was a bait.
I do want to say, by the way, I had no idea how, like, insane TF2 drama could be. Like, oh my god, I know there's a huge player base. I know it's a big community, but I did not even know about this rabbit hole, bro.
And it worked. But what about his art? Because Venusian had to address it too.
I've never drawn it, but if you don't believe me, their own evidence contradicts their claims. These drawings in the latter half of the video aren't mine. I know whose drawings these belong to. All Beatnik, a shitty third world amateur porn artist known for drawing all the things they're accusing me of.
You heard him, everybody. The artwork was not his. Let me quickly explain what Venusian did here. Some random guy did stalk Venusian on draw threads back in 2020, and he did draw some of the artwork that was mistakenly introduced as Venusian's in most of the exposed videos. So Venusian addressed the images that were not his, while he never mentioned the images that were his, like his 4chan commission sheet, for example. So he put the whole burden of guilt on someone else, creating this illusion that he himself hadn't drawn anything bad. It's
just being that down bad that you just blame a random person on 4chan. It was them, Your Honor, not me.
Because all the artwork that I labeled as his in my video is 100% his. Venusian did get banned from Twitter for sexualizing underage characters, and he did take all sorts of degenerate commissions for money on 4chan. He once again lied to his fans and manipulated them into thinking that he hadn't drawn bad stuff at all. As for the abuse part of his confession, this is what he had to say.
Do I beat women?
He was trolling and baiting, definitely. I mean, even if he was, it's the equivalent of, like, you know that comic where it's like someone acts retarded and then it's like, oh, I was only pretending to act retarded, got you, fooled you. You can't just suddenly, like, pull the rug away and be like, I was only pretending to be...
If you take any of this shit seriously, you're just a fucking retard.
Loud and clear. Seems like Venusian did nothing wrong after all. Well, except for his artwork that he lied about, but other than that, yeah. His sins that he atoned for had never existed. At least, that's what he wanted everybody to believe. Everything that I highlighted so far in this video was only for you to understand the manipulative behavior of Venusian rapper, his tendency to gaslight people, his real motives behind his content, and his constant lies.
It's not that Charlie bit. Yeah, I know the bit. It was only a goof, it was only a laugh. Why aren't you laughing?
Evidence for each statement from his confession. Let's begin with this part.
Okay. I'll look at this. I'm not going to watch the interview because, like, interviews kind of put me to bed. But I will watch this bit.
Where he stated that he had once posted nudes of an underage girl on 4chan draw threads as a try to teach them a lesson. After having a very deep dive into Venusian's 4chan activity and using all sorts of archives, I managed to find his old aliases that he had gone by on draw threads. Behold, everybody, YV, aka Young Venus, which is a character from a computer game.
Let me guess, he's a scout. Yep. Why would you give him health like that? You face-stabbed me, you cheating piece of shit? No way, he's not legit at all. I stared him in the face the whole time and flamethrowered him down. He's cheating.
Also known as That Triangle Man, and also as Mac, which is Venusian's drawn original character. All of these were Venusian's aliases. After some more digging, I found some other names being mentioned, and I managed to reach out to two artists who had directly participated in Venusian's old drama, which had happened around 2016. And this is what that drama was all about. about. Venusian really disliked a random girl on draw threads who was 16 years old. Did he really not know that she was underage? We can only speculate. We don't know the exact reason for him disliking her, but many were saying that Venusian had tried to flirt with her and had gotten his advances rejected, to which he would upload her nudes on 4chan, basically bullying her out of the community afterwards. One of the witnesses, Xander, has told me that Venusian was already an asshole to other artists in 2016, and some posts can confirm it. But what he did to that girl was the point.
I like how there's even like a saying on 4chan, it's such an old saying where it's like, we're not your personal army, but yet people will still time and time again try to rile up 4chan to be their own personal army to shit on someone that they don't like. It's just so bad.
Of no return. It backfired at Venusian very hard, to the point of someone leaking his personal information on 4chan, which included his real name and photos of him and his family members, which could be found on his old Facebook page.
Yep.
Surely this got to Venusian's head. All he wanted to do is to figure out who was the one leaking this information. So he had some conversations with other draw thread members. First, he thought it was Xander, the witnesser that I've contacted. And Xander has told me that Venusian tried to add him on Facebook, allegedly trying to leak his personal information in revenge. But later, Venusian would find out that it was not Xander, but someone else, who could possibly be Venusian's friend at the time, Bludgeons. And after finding this out, Venusian started sending some worrying messages to people. I know where she lives in Sac. I visited her. Thinking about doing what I said to you to the test. I got the knife right here, dude. I'm fucking losing it.
I like how it's Skype messages with Comic Sans. Really helps sell the seriousness of these messages.
All of these messages were leaked on 4chan as well, which escalated the situation to its limit. And as a result, Bludgeons made a post about Venusian threatening her life. People started bullying Venusian, believing that he wanted to stab her, and in the very end, Venusian would write a huge apology, saying that he is very sorry and that he is leaving the community. Yes, he apologized for everything. He clarified that his threats were only jokes, and quite frankly I believe that he was joking, even though it was super unnecessary in that situation. However, Venusian still tried to flip the whole situation upside down, painting himself as a true victim. I have never been so disgusted by what cruelties can persist here. The betrayal of friends, the constant lying, the harassment, the stalking, the abuse, and the lack of compassion for one another. These
I like how a guy is posting on 4chan how bad 4chan is. Fucking hell, this is the equivalent of people going on Reddit saying how bad Reddit is. It's just friendly fire, bro. What are you doing?
People get away with hurting others all the time. I agree that everybody was in the wrong and others also took it too far. But Venusian was the one who started it all initially. It's just that he's always trying to drown everybody around him when his ship starts sinking. I may say terrible things and act like a terrible person, but at least I can show remorse. And that's what separates me from a sociopath.
I may say terrible things and act like a terrible person, but at least I can show remorse. So I'm gonna do like really fuck things, but maybe it's 3 in the morning. I feel a little bit bad about it. That's how I'm a good person, and I'm learning.
Sorry, but posting news of a minor on draw threads and saying 6 years later that draw threads was one of the communities that you trolled does not look like remorse at all. If it shows anything, that is that you haven't changed at all since 2016. Every time it happens, my crimes get worse and worse. At least Venusian didn't lie with this one, so let's get onto the next community that he had trolled to death. The Antoons community, where Venusian had sent sexual messages to another 16-year-old girl. Antoons is a big YouTuber with over 1 million subscribers who uploads edgy animations, which makes his channel a perfect place for someone like Venusian, art and edginess. If we have a look at this video of Antoons, Venusian is credited in the description as a voice actor, and we can hear him speak in the video.
And this is it, folks. Burger King won't be king anymore.
So it seems like he was a part of this community, which had its Discord server. Some people who were also investigating Venusian with me managed to contact Antoons directly and asked him about everything. This is what he said. Venusian was a fan of me all the time during my peak drama. He seemed just like a common edgelord, but as time went on, he started to bully more people. I stopped talking to him after all the stuff started to surface and I learned what he was doing behind my back on the server, using our girls there for erotic roleplay. I think it was at least 3 girls, but only Pef was a minor. Antoons shared some screenshots of what Venusian sent to Pef, and it's terrible. For some context, this happened by the middle of 2021, when Venusian was 25 years old, while he was sending these disgusting messages to a minor. There's no excuse to this whatsoever. This is like predatory. It's fucking creepy. But even when Pef leaked their messages, Venusian started stalking her through his friends, which made her delete her Discord account. And then Venusian got banned by Antoons. So this part of Venusian's confession is also fully confirmed. And again, let's see if he has any remorse over this one.
He made his channel private. Yes, someone said he uploaded an apology, but I think it's been made private, apparently.
Does this person actually exist? You really believe that there's like some mysterious girl over the internet in another country, and it's not just like some dude LARPing? Are you fucking stupid?
A little reminder that this drama happened while Venusian and Jane Dome were still dating, which gets us to the final part of his confession, Venusian's abuse towards Jane Dome, which was nothing more but a bait, of course, just like everything from before.
They don't believe me when I say Fatmagic cheats, but they believe me when it's something negative against me, like that leaked post from my Discord server. Yeah, be sure to look out for that gem in Vorobase next video.
I think it's just about time for me to reveal a secret. Jane did reach out to me. This whole time I was lying about not having contact with her.
Drama!
I was lying because I knew that Venusian would try to damage control.
Your Honor, I was trolling. Yeah, that's pretty much his entire... That was his entire cope. Your Honor, I was trolling. I was racist, Your Honor. I was transphobic. I was trolling.
And say that
I got nudes, Your Honor. I was trolling.
Nothing has ever happened. His own bait worked against him, making him tell so many lies on his YouTube channel, revealing...
You know what? Don't worry. I'm moving on. I'm raising a family now.
...his true personality to everyone watching this video. Yet, Jane's story is so much worse than what Venusian told in Discord that it definitely deserves a separate chapter.
Oh, this is the interview. I don't know if I want to watch this. I feel like if there's not any receipts, I don't really want to watch this, because this will just be like talking. And obviously I'm not trying to devalue what she's gone through. It must have been fucking horrible, but yeah, it's just I kind of want to see receipts or some kind of evidence. I don't think there is anything. Literally everyone's watching me to watch the interview. Okay, sure. All right.
I dated Venusian for 5 years. Online for 1 year and then 4 years living together. We met on 4chan. We met on a draw thread on B. We ended up getting in a Discord together that was just kind of basically for the draw threads.
I think the only place you can meet that's worse than meeting on Discord is 4chan. But yeah, no, I think this is all just kind of like, this is going to be unedited, I think.
On one hand, I wanted to support him at all costs because that is how I value relationships. But at the same time, I tried to de-escalate the situation, pretending to be my friend. I should have never done it, and I want you to know that I'm very sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Still, 2021, we were living with my grandmother with dementia at the time. So he was doing online sexual roleplay with people in our drawing communities. It was already clear that he was not attracted to me and nothing was helping. It probably started happening earlier than that, like with just different chicks in general. But I do know that he started taking things to DMs with girls. It got to the point to where it wasn't just right, haha, funny with our characters. It wasn't a character thing. It started getting a lot more personal and serious with these girls. Of course, I didn't know how serious it was getting until drama started happening around it that I was totally removed from. I guess it was just the experience of his manipulative behavior, but I stopped going to draw threads. I stopped being a part of the community. I wasn't happy. I didn't talk to my friends.
Yeah, I gotta put it on 2x speed. I'm sorry. It's way too long, because this interview is just not cut down at all either. Zoomer attention span, bro. It's a half-an-hour interview, man. Come on.
He told me about it, and I was upset, and I told him, well, you really broke my trust. I had him promise me that he wasn't going to keep something like this from me again, and he wasn't going to keep doing this. And he told me, reassured me that he wasn't going to do it anymore. Of course, that was a lie. He started doing something way worse. He was having online sexual conversations with a 16-year-old Estonian girl. I didn't know about it until he ended up having to tell me about it. I didn't know about the fact he requested nudes from her. I had to learn that way after everything.
And he knew that she was 16?
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
wow.
Like, he knew. There's no denying that. Let me make this clear that I didn't even find
But it's a 0.25 speed, imagine. Just, we're sat here all day.
out about this until we were close to the end of our relationship. But at the time, my grandmother was getting significantly worse. A lot more of my time was spent watching her and taking care of her and making sure she was going to be okay. I didn't have any strength to even try to end it with him, so I just kept going. Stayed with him, despite the fact he was doing this disgusting stuff. 25 years old. Let me make this perfectly clear. He was 25 years old when he started talking to the 16-year-old. The more I looked into it and more I started thinking about it, he's predatory. That makes it even worse. He has a history of talking to girls that are likely very vulnerable and easy to get things out of. of. And I was one of those girls. His behavior is predatory. So the fact he even took it further and allowed this shit to happen with this 16-year-old just speaks volumes to me about his behavior. So he got banned from Antoons server too. That's fucking crazy. I had no idea what was going on in Antoons server. I had no idea that he was stalking these other females.
And the next topic that Jane would discuss is physical abuse.
It wasn't like I wasn't beaten every day or some shit like that, right? There was one instance before the main event where he did get physical with me. And that was when we had to drive across country to take care of his mother's estate. I drove for most of the drive, 3 days, almost nonstop driving, but I got tired to this point to where either we needed to just take a nap on the side of the road, which I wouldn't have minded, but he has his own issues with that, so that was off the table. So we find this hotel. It was more expensive than what he wanted to pay, and he was so angry about it. When we got up to the room, he yanked me inside and slammed the door shut. I remember him pushing me onto the bed and holding me down, grabbing my arms really hard. You know, he was trying to hurt me. He held me down and told me, "I'm so tired of your princess attitude." He said that when we get back home, we're gonna move out of your parents' house and you're gonna have to deal with it, you know, shit like that. He was saying all of these things just to be cruel, and you know, force his beliefs and what he expected onto me. And while he was holding me down and I was looking at him, I was so scared. I was so far away from home, and I thought to myself...
It is just insane how much this rabbit hole's gone, though, right? Like, you've got basically, like, a 4chan troll who started by doing, like, a Maximilian Musbit, like, going into other people's Discords, like, trolling them, being, like, racist, homophobic. And now it has reached the point where his ex-partner has came out about him to talk about how abusive he's been. It is insane. Everything gets leaked eventually. Everything. It's madness. Yeah, again, it's like, it's fucking 4chan trolling. What do you expect? I'm not going to play this interview in full, guys. It's just, yeah, there's not really any kind of proof or anything shown here. I'm not saying it isn't real, but yeah, I don't know.
Ever since I uploaded my first video on Venusian rapper about him cheating in TF2, lots of things have happened, and I'll try to make it short because nothing can top what you already know. From Venusian's own words, he and Bunny have married, and they will have a kid.
He unironically, he took the route of having a family to improve himself.
Venusian was exchanging not safe for work art with yet another underage girl in summer 2022. She reached out to me in Discord after my first Venusian video and shared screenshots of him sending her pornographical art while he knew that she was 17 because she had told him about it, but it never stopped him. Venusian also sent her his videos about me, which is so fucking weird since she had no idea who I even was and she didn't care, but this is not as significant. Besides Venusian still interacting with minors in inappropriate ways while being 27 today, after my cheating video on him, he went kind of mental. He did a stream where he put my face on screen trying to laugh off all the accusations, not only cheating ones, but grooming and abuse ones as well.
Actually, hold on, you guys want a face cam? Alright guys, here's my face cam. It's me, guys.
But
I like the recommended is just soft jazz music and Nova for a good mood. YouTube recommended just always somehow recommends you the complete opposite of what you actually want to see.
This is nothing compared to what I'm about to say next. Remember the Neon guy that got doxxed right after Venusian's video on him? Well, the same person who doxed Neon contacted me that same day and tried to threaten me with doxing, sending me photos of myself. It's easy to tell that this was someone from Venusian's friends, or he was Venusian himself. So I did something. I knew about one situation that only I and Venusian were aware of at the time, and it's Venusian having a court record for pushing his foster mother. So when this mysterious person who was trying to threaten me sent this message, "I can't imagine being your mother, having to raise such a mentally disabled retard," I replied with, "Well, I've never been in the court for kicking her at least." And this was the reaction, which definitely looks like it's coming from someone who knows what I was talking about. I understand that this does not 100% prove that the doxer was Venusian.
You're so mad, bro, by the way. Literally, he knew where to pull that punch. He knew where to, and then he literally, he did the equivalent of "you mad, bro."
This was the reaction, which definitely looks like it's coming from someone who knows what I was talking about. I understand that this does not 100% prove that the doxer was Venusian, but I've already made my own conclusions, and I am sure that it was him. Who else
when he hits you with the string of ha-has that goes on for like an entire page, it's over.
Would have doxed Neon the same day Venusian uploaded his video on him, And who would have said that they would try to copyright strike my video that you're watching right now? I kept receiving threats from multiple alt accounts, and they even sent me my real name, which is not my real name. I'm not Diaz Sagindikov. So these degenerates from Venusian's community, or Venusian himself, were trying to dox an innocent person. And this is where we are today. This is everything that I wanted to show you because it needed to be covered for an obvious reason. Venusian rapper is a threat to literally anyone around him. Not only online, but in real life too. He needs professional help, especially considering that he will have a child to raise, which is something I don't even want to think about because it's depressing. And what will be happening next mostly depends on Venusian rapper himself. Will he realize that there—
You know what's so scary though? Like that aside, we're actually hitting that timeline now where like YouTubers are having kids. Like PewDiePie's wife is pregnant. I don't know about Markiplier or like Jacksepticeye, they might have kids. Everyone's getting old, man. Damn.
There are so many issues about him that he needs to fix instead of projecting them onto others. Will he finally see it and change for the better until he hurts someone else? Only time will show. But for now, this is gonna be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and comment down below. And of course, subscribe to my channel for more content.
You still look 15. Yeah, I'm 25, and I feel like I'm not gonna look any older now. I'm not gonna look any older. Like there is not a single person that sees me in the street and thinks I actually am 25.
And in the future. It was me, Vorobey, and see ya in the next one, everybody. Stay safe on the internet. Peace.
I like the bit at the beginning where he said based. You want to see my TF2 loadout, right? Look at that! Nothing!